combine Blender with Photoshop to create a texture for this. This is going to be a piece of stone with a gem in the middle. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to UV editing. I'm going to select this. One way to select everything, I press Command L, and that selects all the linked ones. I'm going to grab these ones. I'm going to export UV layout, and I want the size to be a little bit bigger, 2048 by 2048. Alright, and I'm going to put my fill opacity to 0, and then I'm going to call this Stone UV, and I'm going to save it in textures, Stone UVs, right here. And now I'm going to go to Photoshop, and I'm going to open that up. Alright, and I'm going to create a layer. So this is my UV layer, so I'm going to go UV, and I'm going to lock that layer so I can't touch it anymore. Then I'm going to go here, and I'm going to give it like some kind of dark stone gray texture. I want this to be a cartoony style, so I'm going to add in something that kind of looks like this. This is just like reference, so I can kind of figure out how do I want it. I'm going to lock this also so I can't grab it. You see this is outside of the UVs, but I'm going to put a gem right here. So I'm just going to create a cube right, or a box right here, and my gem will be maybe a light blue. Okay, so I'm going to call this gem, and the rest of it will be texture. And now I'm going to start painting my texture here. Alright, and now I saved it as a Photoshop, and I'm going to save it as a JPEG. Okay, I'll call it Stone UV Photoshop. This is my color map. And now I'm going to go to this one. I'm going to add this to my image texture right here. I'm going to go image texture. I'm going to say open, and I'm going to say stone textures, some UVPS. Alright, so I've got this kind of stone texture on there. I should like paint this a little darker. But now I want to do one more thing. So I've got this stone, it's looking pretty good, but I want this gem to glow a little bit. So now I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to turn off this one, and I'm going to add one more layer, and I'm going to make this layer completely black. Alright, but I'm going to keep this one like this. And I'm going to call this file, save a copy. I'm going to call this glow. Okay. I'm going to save it as a JPEG. So what this does is whatever's black will not glow, whatever's blue will glow. So now I'm going to add this in. Go to my texture here. And emission is the way that we make things glow. Alright, so now I'm going to go to shading. I'm going to Shift A, create a texture, image texture right here. Open. Textures, stone, glow. Alright, and then I'm going to connect this one, left click and connect it to emission. And that's going to turn on some bloom maybe. Bring up my emission strength. So if it's going to be nice and dark in here. So that creates like a glowing rune texture. Alright, so I have this stone with some like glowing runes in there. And I can make it brighter if I want. Less bright. I could even animate this. And that is a little bit more advanced texture tutorial.